of vultures and a lot of tanks, and I think he should have waited for a dropship, or he should have gone sooner. Dropship coming out now. The question is will it be spotted or not? But those tanks can still come out in off position and go in underneath. Flash is still, I feel, too spread out to really protect the entirety of his base and the entirety of his economy. Again, he's still economically behind. It looks like he's just now getting another factory down, so he's going very tank heavy at this stage. He knows he's been behind at tanks. It looks like he's got those 3 machine shops down and 6 factories from Leta. Leta is going to go really aggressive here. He's going to just put everything out on the line in this match. There's a single turret, but that's not going to stop those 2 tanks from going down on that back edge, and it looks like tanks just maneuvering out towards the front door. Again, I think this would have been better as a combination attack earlier. Now the tanks starting to wind their way back, but not before more SCVs are going to have to be pulled off the line. And honestly, Flash cannot afford to lose. Wow, getting more SCVs killed. He cannot afford to lose more SCVs. Mines being planted, it looks like, in front of those factories, which is even going to oh man, Comsat going off. Flash needs to clear those mines now. If he does not, he's going to be in big trouble. Looks like he is able to clear them off, just the residue there. The last few seconds of that Comsat should be able to clear those additional 2 mines momentarily. If a tank had popped right there, that could have been really disastrous, especially depending on where those units were. And actually, no, it looks like, I'm sorry, I didn't see that Leta put up a 3rd. And he's putting up a 4th, getting greedy now, so he had those 6 factories in anticipation of taking 2 additional expansions, knowing that Flash was on the defensive there. And he has a lot of tanks out in the field. He's in a great position here in this mid-game. Looks like, yeah, playing exactly, I would say, almost the opposite of their first match. Tanks swinging around to the 6 o'clock position to try to get an additional expansion for Flash. I think Leta should be able to stop on this pretty quickly, especially if he has any. I'm not sure if he lost that dropship or was able to pull it out or not, but he should have dropships momentarily to really punish Flash for trying to do essentially anything at this stage. Flash very much pinned in. Leta can just take these expansions at will. He's also going to have a lot of troops, but it looks like a lone vulture, a rogue vulture that was able to sneak out, is going to stop this expansion from going up at the 12 o'clock position, at least momentarily. I expect a couple vultures to speed out that direction, take care of it. Looks like, yeah, they're already intercepting now. Going to be able to hunt it down. Still not speed upgraded, so Flash going to rely entirely on tanks, but 3 dropships already out. Leta should be able, with his superior economy, superior troop count, should be able to drop all over that 6 o'clock position, even with that single Goliath there, and I honestly do not see Flash coming out with this game at this stage. Leta's just got a death grip, turned a small lead into a gigantic lead at this stage, and I'm still not seeing very good SCV saturation on that main, or it looks like on that secondary it's okay, but then some Wraith being produced by Flash to try to snipe those dropships before they are incoming, and this is very intelligent. He's catching Leta a little bit out of position. Leta hasn't produced any Goliaths at this stage, and he hasn't continued producing Wraith into the mid-game. So, and he also, I don't even know if he has an engineering bay up, so as long as, unfortunately, revealing his hand a little bit early here, that will delay those dropships from going to that 6 o'clock, might be able to take out a tank. I don't think it's going to be enough. I expect anti-air there in not too long. It looks like some SCVs heading out there to build some turrets, but at least able to take 2 tanks, and it looks like he's going to bring the entirety of his attack force to try to do this. Otherwise, if Leta's on the ball, he might be able to get another, just kind of swing around to the far position and get a drop, and really, yeah, at that 6 o'clock, because there's not any, you got 3 tanks that are completely spread out trying to defend that. He could very well take that expansion down. 3 SCVs running up, trying to repair that tank to make sure it maintains up. Now Goliath's also being loaded up to try to drop at that forward position. Flash is able to break that contain to some degree, but again, I feel like he's overextending himself. He's just too far spread out. Dropships pushing up, and honestly, I think this is going to be one of the pivotal moments of the game. Those tanks completely vulnerable to this drop. Those 2 Wraith cannot stop those dropships incoming, and it looks like Leta, rather than going for the drop over the 6 o'clock or trying to take those tanks out at the forward position, instead is going to drop short and just try to maintain this containment, which again surprises me. So Flash down a base, down in production, relying mostly on tanks and Wraith into this mid game. Leta being a little bit more passive, not really going for the forward drops. It looks like he's just going to try to maintain this economic advantage and try to maintain this contained force. Flash should go suicidally into him, taking another expansion, it looks like, at the 11 o'clock position. Already rolling at that 12 o'clock. Pretty good SCV saturation already. I'm not sure what Flash can do to get back into this, especially not with the Wraith tank combination. I think with dropships he might have been able to sneak something out, but honestly with the Wraith, he's going to try to go headlong in and try to outnumber just with tanks underneath. And right now, Leta's economy is just so much superior to his, even with those 3 factories just pumping nothing but tanks. I don't think he's ever going to have the superior number of tanks to really roll into a forward position here. And it looks like, yeah, just continuing to produce the Wraith. I think that's what he's relying on into that mid-game, though, is allowing those Wraith to try to clear things otherwise. And he's still trying, it looks like, jockeying for position here. to that northern section. Engineering Bay is going to in fact back off, but there's already siege tanks and Goliaths waiting there, as well as dropships to just absolutely stifle anything that Flash can throw out. So right now Flash looks like he's going to get contained to that bottom right hand quadrant of the map, and Engineering Bay getting at least picked off, so that's something. But in the meantime, honestly, I don't think he can defend. And wow, Leta being ridiculously aggressive here in his expansions. He's going and taking every single expansion on the map, it looks like. Just going to leave Flash in the dust as far as economy goes. And he needs to be careful here, because what I think he's setting up for is a quick switch in tech to battlecruisers, which I don't even think is necessary here. Going just really aggressive, getting a lot more units down on the ground. It looks like, oh, those dropships just filled with anything but Goliaths to fend that off. I think Leta would be also wise to get a couple more Goliaths and turrets at least into the middle of the field. He needs to be careful of some mines. Oh man, those mines are deadly close right there. Looks like they some sort of detection. It looks like Comsat maybe taking that out. Flash trying to get something here at that 3 o'clock so he can establish position, but Leta is just taking everything else. You can see he's got that 9 o'clock position. He has every expansion practically except the mineral only in the upper left. He's going to be running off, let me try to get a count here, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe 6 gas here, maybe even 7 gas momentarily, and it looks like that last turret going to be taken out at that 3 o'clock. Flash will have a moment to push up and take that, but a Comsat otherwise. And let's see again, I'm wondering about these dropships. It looks like they're mostly just being used defensively by Leta. That's a pretty standard dimensional line right there, as if he's being transferred. Finally a 5th factory going down for Flash compared to the 6 that have been out this entire time. 2 dropships out, but honestly I don't know where they can go to really do anything, and I can't imagine them having any sort of anti-attack or any sizable attack force to really get anything done. Both players at weapons 1. Now I think one key for Flash right here is if Leta, he's got a lot of gas up. It really looks to me like he's just going to start mining gas, and he's going to go for a very quick switch momentarily into battle cruisers, as if he can try to catch Leta underneath right there, or if Leta's even going to bother with the tech switch. I honestly don't think Leta needs to bother, because he knows Flash isn't really going to be able to produce anything off that bottom right hand corner that can compare to his army, as long as he keeps a comsat up. He does have that science facility down. I'm not seeing a physics lab just yet, but yeah, Leta is just in the double bonus right here. His economy is ridiculous. He's got Flash pinned in here, so it's really up to Flash to do something to counter this, and it looks like Leta does have a sizable attack force. Thinking about rolling out, he is going to push up to that 3 o'clock. Only 4 tanks and a lot of turrets in the background. Looks like he's leading, dropping a little bit short there after seeing the turrets. Needs to back those dropships out, otherwise he's going to lose them. That is a pretty good advantage to have. Looks like Flash defending that really well. Good stalwart defense, and he's got the counter dropships to push up, so Leta not going to get anything done with this attack right here. Nice defense there by Flash, and that was a little bit careless there by Leta. I don't think he needed to commit to that attack. Level 2 weapons has been upgraded by Flash versus level 1 weapons on the opposite end. And that ended very, very poorly actually for Leta. So Flash still showing some signs of life. He was able to take out a dropship, which is going to limit the mobility of Leta, and it looks like he's producing another dropship now. But just running headlong into those turrets, I think after seeing those turrets, he could have just backed off, just completely backed off, and not really gone for that attack there. He doesn't really need to be committing his forces. It's up to Flash to get something done, not up to Leta to get something done. Obviously, though, letting a player like Flash do whatever he wants, kind of in a containment, is kind of a tall order in general. And it looks like just mining gas here at these additional expansions, just going to keep them kind of in waiting, just keep that gas mining up. Just to keep that advantage. And it looks like he just now got Weapons 2 finished. Again, I'm surprised by that Leta went for an attack before Weapons 2 was finished as well, going into Weapons 2 for Flash, and that really played a big advantage right there additionally. And it looks like, yeah, you can just see on the mini-map, he's just taking, looks like he's leaving that middle of the map open. He's just going to assume Flash isn't going to push there right this moment. Gathering up another attack force. Flash going up for a counter drop. He's got those 4, and this is the attack I was talking about. And he's going to end up running towards the main. And it looks like he caught Leta completely by surprise. He was not prepared for this, and he's going to drop right over that factory line and try to equalize things that way. And let's see if Leta is going to have enough to deal with this. So nice counter drop there by Flash. Looks like he's going to be able to maybe take out some of that supply as well. Let's see if he does a supply hit or if he goes after those factories. And he's going to be able to get his dropships back out. So Leta allowing Flash to stay alive in this, and Flash doing what he can to kind of scrap in this game. He's going to lose his dropships on the way out, unfortunately. So down to 2, and one of them very, very wounded. But at the very least, he's able to stop one factory, and it looks like he's going to be able to get a command center as well, and maybe a supply depot otherwise. But it looks looks like Leta is going to be able to drop right back over this, and now is able to clean that up. So almost got that. The thing is if that factory burns down, that could be a pretty significant swing, and it does burn down. So it looks like that factory, actually it's not going to make a difference because Weapons 2 is up for Leta, but if he was trying to switch right that moment into battle cruisers, perhaps that he's going to need to get another factory down. And Flash immediately turning around and trying to multitask across the middle and try to catch Leta off guard, and that's going to the exact position where Leta left the middle of the map open. And wow, Flash has taken up residence into the middle. Flash is starting to turn this game around, very nicely starting to push up. Leta really isn't getting any sort of advantage, and there, GG from Flash actually. So Ignore Me threw all his troops away, didn't have anything left, so he had nothing to really counter that, was running out of resources. So Flash just going for a suicide there once it got taken out, gonna GG at that stage. I expected Flash to fight it out a little longer there because he wasn't completely out of resources at his secondary, at his main. Still had the mineral only running, but realizing that Leta just had too large of an economy, just didn't feel like fighting it into the long game, is going to GG right there and go into a game 3 and try to win it there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.